It is easier swearing ourselves to someone else's cause than to sit with who we are without one. Okay, existential crisis. Hello? Hello everyone, coming to you with another book review. Are we surprised? No, we're not. Today we are going to be reviewing Rachel Gillig's latest release, The Knight and the Moth. And you guys, when I tell you, this has raised my standards for all books romantasy from here on out. I'm not even being dramatic. We've had a lot of good weeks of new releases. Thank goodness, because the beginning of this year was rough. There were a lot of disappointments, so we just had to wait for May, and we're doing much better. If you don't know, my name's Emily. Em's Novellas Everywhere, and I'm a fellow book lover, enthusiast like yourself. If you're here and you want to talk about this new book together, we absolutely can. If you want to learn about it, first section I always keep spoiler free, or if you just want to hear the juicy tidbits of what goes on but you don't want to read it, I also will be going into character's plot, notable quotes. You guys, the amount of yearning in this goes crazy. Goes crazy. And we have sassy side characters, very memorable side characters in my what am I saying? In my opinion, the world building is always beautiful and wonderful and thorough. Rachel Gillig does not ever lack there. The magic system is so cool, and of course they're gonna go on a little quest, they're gonna forage, they're gonna collect their little magical items. It's gonna be so fun. So before we get into it, grab a snack, grab a fun bevy, and let's chat. Also, if you speak on my peeling sunburn, if you've been following me on Instagram, you know I've been through it. I've been in the trenches. Let's just ignore it. Don't look at it. Okay, cool. Let's move on. A general premise of the book, a quick little overview about what is The Knight and the Moth about. And the Mouth? That's not right. The Knight and the Moth about. So it follows our main character, our main girl named Sybil. She is a diviner. She is part of this religious cathedral where her and 6 other girlies participate regularly in predicting the future or reading signs for people's divination. One by one, the other girlies start getting picked off and disappearing, and Sybil, she's like, this is my family, I'm gonna go find them. She has to team up with one of the king's knights who does not believe in the system, does not like her. They do not get along, but in order to find out what happened and where her girlies are at, they must work together. When I tell you, the world building in this, it's a lot. I will note the first like 40, 50 pages for me, it was the slowest amount of reading, because just anytime you're in a new fantasy world, you have to learn what's going on if the author does it correctly. But the world building was just so whimsical and fun and advanced. It was really enjoyable. I think Rachel said it in her acknowledgement. She wrote this when the idea came to her when she had COVID, so she was like, do I read this? And it's just such a fun little world to live in. The magic system, we're gonna go more into this once I get the spoilers, because I don't want to spoil too much, but there are these like 6 gods that have different powers and different objects that they use, kind of designated to their craft. Is very interesting and very fun to learn more about where they came from, how they came to be, how it's maintained. Slight spoiler, they're gonna interact with some of the gods to figure out what happened to the other diviners who are gone. Oh my gosh, diviners? No, that's right, okay. You guys, I'm a book girly, I'm not an audiobook girly. I also chronically mispronounce words because I just don't say things out loud that much, besides like my 9-to-5 work, but that's not gonna come up in books, you know? So it's divination. I'm pretty sure they're all called diviners. It's not diviners. I'm gonna call them diviners. That just sounds better to me. That's what I've been calling them. So not only is there wonderful world building, great magic system, the romance, the yearning, the pining, the tension. There was a moment where I did not know could be so much tension between two individuals. And I'm like, whatever trope this is, add it to my list of favorites because that was wonderful and great. If you get to the scene you know what I'm talking about, where you're talking about spoilers, wow. 10 out of 10, chef's kiss. I gave this book 5 stars. It was crazy. I literally sacrificed sleep. Which if you're my family or loved ones watching this and you're upset with me, it's fine. I'm chronically sleep deprived. I've been running like this for 10 plus years. It's probably taken at least 15 years off my life. I'll be okay. There probably won't even be an earth left for me to live on at the rate climate change is happening. Anyway, not to get morbid, let's get back on track. I gave this book 5 stars. It was so good. The cliffhanger, I'm like, oh, I'm pissed. I'm excited for. I think this is a duology. I hope it's a duology. I don't think this should be a trilogy. With how it's set up, it feels right to be a duology. And the book cover is beautiful. At first I was kind of like staring at it before I really knew much about the book, and I'm like, what's going on here? But the more you learn about like the backstory and what's going on, you're like, wow. Amazing. And then also the characters. I think the characters were my favorite part because all of them had such interesting background stories or backstories. Is that what backgrounds? Is backstory short for background stories?
Wait a damn minute.
My brain is clearly not working today. The characters were my favorite though. I became so attached to this one side character, and I swear if something happens to them, I'm not gonna say which one, but if something happens to them, I will riot. Rachel, this is a warning. Let's get into the spoilers because we have so much to talk about. So characters, you guys, like I said, we're gonna talk about characters, plot, notable quotes, and then final thoughts. If you don't want to be spoiled, save this video or come back once you've read it. You guys, the characters. Sybil, 6, my girly, my rebellious girly, my strong girly, my hammer and chisel girly. I adored her. I love how she challenged the system. I love how strong and independent she was. I love how loyal she is. I love how she, kind of a martyr. She didn't like that word, but I think she's kind of a martyr when she would always willingly choose to do the dreaming for the other diviners. So they don't have to do it. My girl is so selfless, but also kind of selfish in the sense of she looks down at others because she truly believes she's stronger than that. But she kind of was like, you know what, if I'm gonna be stuck doing this, I'm gonna be good at it. And you know what, I feel that. If you're stuck in a situation, you're gonna make the best of it. So she became really good at it. I loved her character development. I love how she rejected her diviner fate and then became a knight. And now I'm a little pissed. Benji for how it ended because now she's like stuck being his tool, but silly for him. I think she's gonna hold more power than he will because of people's faith. We know how far faith will let people go. Is Rachel Gillig doing a commentary on how people believe faith over everything else? Perhaps. Anyway, I cannot wait to see more of her. Our guy Roderick Mendacious. This man, his little 3 gold rings, how he was a fondling too, like Sybil, how he worked under one of the omens. Also, do not ask me to repeat the omens names. I literally, like, they all started somehow blending together. I can only remember one part of it, but he was the one with like the coin, the gold coin. And he, oh my gosh, this man knew how to pine. I love that he was constantly questioning the system. He has raised the standard. I'm so excited for him to wreak havoc in book 2 to get Sybil back and to take down Benji. Yes. I want to see him burn the world for her. Except for Maud and the bat gargoyle, because they can live too, it's okay. But I love him. I can't wait to hear more about, maybe dual POV in the second book. It can be Rory and Sybil. That'd be fun. Okay, you guys, my favorite character was the bat gargoyle / Bartholomew. He was the first diviner, and then he started rebelling, and the abbess got pissed off, or if you want to call her Aisling or the moth or the sixth, whichever, I'm gonna call her the abbess. Bartholomew, my sweet boy. I grew so attached to him, literally like 30% in. I'm like, if something happens to him, we ride at dawn. Or actually, it's on sight immediately. He was just so sweet, and I loved how sarcastic he was and his cute little quips trying to get like the human sayings correctly. He kind of gave me the vibes of like the sassy dragons in Fourth Wing, but better, in the sense that like he was, I don't know, maybe just Fourth Wing. I didn't really like, I'm also jaded toward Iron Flame and Onyx Storm. I only really liked Fourth Wing. So, but the Bartholomew, and he calls everyone else Bartholomew so he doesn't forget his own name. My sweet boy. He better not die in the second book, or I swear there will be hell to pay. Our next character is Maud. She kind of reminded me of Brienne of Tarth. Honestly, her whole story just reminded me of her. Like, not in the sense like Brienne of Tarth had to like kind of earn her title, in the sense that she was not born into royalty or anything, but Maud was, and she came from a family that always killed sprites. They were always like protecting the kingdom, and she was kind of like, when do you like, how are you able to separate your destiny, or like what you thought was your chosen destiny, from like what you actually want? I thought she was such an interesting character. I also love how maternal she was toward literally everyone. I was freaking out when she almost died. I was like, absolutely, like, Sybil, Bartholomew, Rory, and Maud cannot die. I don't care about anyone else. We already lost the Diviners. They were the only other ones I cared about, and now it's fine. It's fine. We're fine. Clearly, we're fine. I'm excited to see more of her in the next book as well. Benji, oh Benji. Benji is the reason we have age limits on our leaders. Here's me petitioning, starting right here, for upper limits, because I don't think anyone over the age of 65 should be running a country. But at least we have the lower limit, because this 17-year-old rat boy, I knew he was not going to be cool when he kept getting weird about like any type of like anyone challenging him, or when he acted like people were his property. I knew. This is why we do not put teenagers in charge, let alone like, we should at least wait until their frontal lobe is developed at 25. But this rat, literally, oh my God. I agree with what he thought of Maud, where she kind of saw him just as a boy king, like a kid. I agree, you are a boy king. Literally, you've been alive for 17 years. Your brain's still in development. Your body's still growing. What do you know? And then he's like all pissy that all these people are like turning against him. He's like, oh my God, no one wants to swear their lives to me. But you know, he's all the same. He just wants power, and he's like, it's in the name for my grandfather, but he actually just wants all this power for himself, and he wants to use Sybil. I hope she wrecks him. I literally hope she has a face-off with him in some way, and it's nasty. Moving on, the Omens. The Omens are such interesting characters, because I'm glad we were able to meet 5 of the 6 of them. We didn't really meet the first one that much. Rory's master, he was the one with the coin, the gold coin. But it was just so interesting hearing their experience, because some of them like clearly enjoyed being perceived as a god and being treated nicely, and they just want the power and like what comes with the influence. But it was the Weaver was my favorite, our girly who kind of symbolized like love, and she's like, I just want to die. I keep remembering my past life and all my loved ones are dead because they're all old and I'm just stuck being alive. It was so interesting, and I'm glad that we were able to hear about each of their different backstories a lot more. I thought that was really meaningful, and I don't know, I just really enjoyed them. It was also so fun kind of like learning about their different weapons, their different crafts, and how they kind of maintain with like the aisling water, but then a lot of them just like suck the blood of the diviners because it has the spring water in their blood. I'm like, okay, vampires. Edward Cullen who? I thought they were really interesting. The Abbess slash the Moth slash aisling, whatever we want to call her. Another rat. She was so manipulative. Low-key, I thought she was a little bit easy to take down given everything. And I know she had like the loom from the Weaver as her like weapon that could transport her, and then also do the thing with the memories. So like her and Sybil were fighting. And I know Sybil was almost drowning and almost got taken out. But I feel like, I don't know. Kind of throughout, I thought some of the omens were a little too easy to take out. Like Sybil versus the Orman, I was like, oh Unless he's just a bad fighter. I don't know. I don't know how much Sybil had like 3 days of combat training. But I'm not going to complain because the second part of the book is definitely about getting Sybil out of the kingdom and taking down this new corrupt king. Yay! And then our last character, I'm going to talk about the other diviners. Oh my gosh, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I'm actually so sad they all died. I was like really holding out that they'd be just like mysterious. I thought like conspiracy theory me. I was like, maybe the kingdom, like Rory is actually sneaking them out with his coin and he's just saving them that way to try to like break down the system from inside. I was literally thinking like the abbess is like Regina George and like you take away her squad, it's the diviners, and you take away her hot man candy who is the spring, and like her whole facade of being like this religious ruler. And that was the other thing, her body, I don't, that maybe that's a spring, keep her alive. But they all died. The abbess literally killed them all, and that's what she does with all of them, is once they get to 10 years and they start questioning it, she either turns her favorite ones into gargoyles and they're stuck there forever. That was going to be Sybil's fate. Or she kills them and then sends them off to the omens for them to drink their blood that has the aisling water. This was so dark. I was like shook the whole time. I read this in one sitting. I'm like, what is happening? We've gone over quite a bit of the plot while also talking about the characters. I do have a couple like plot points I do want to talk about, or just general remarks about the book as a whole. So we're gonna talk about the plot now. A nice little seamless transition there. Let's talk about the magic system. I love the magic system. One thing Rachel Gillig's to do is write a well-written magic system. I thought the like how the spring is the thing that is the foundation for what created the omens, objects, the diviners, crazy to me, and the abbess just kind of utilized this resource to her advantage. I thought all the different items were so interesting, how like they're all like some sort of transportation device or a weapon in some way. Okay, I'll also note the lady with the chimes who like had all the tree sprites and everything. I feel like she was kind of easy to take down as well. One of the sprites just like ate her. I'm like, aren't you like, how have you survived this long? I mean, I guess they said they were starving the sprites, but like how long? I don't know. Who am I to question them? The magic system was just so well done. I just loved it. I thought it was so fun, so interesting. Compared to One Dark Window with like the different cards, I thought the different items with the base in the spring, like the holy water and everything was so interesting. I think if I were to like really want to like give myself time, I could reread this and just like analyze everything a lot more closely. But because my brain is not working quite that much right now, I'm just gonna enjoy it for what it is. Feel free to comment below if you like want to talk about any of the symbolism of the different items, maybe commentary on like the church. I thought there was a lot on that. The world building was so interesting to me. I think the whole premise of taking these 5 individuals, basically creating them into gods, feeding into that like greed, selfishness, that desire for power is insane, and then to maintain it by using your little minions, your divine. I'm speaking from the standpoint of the abbess because she like controls everything. She is the moth. She control her then like divvying out her diviners once she's done with them and she's run out with them to feed them. That's insane. Like literally this was me processing it like hello? Oh my God. The diviner rotation is absolutely sick. That she basically takes these foundlings. They're basically like orphans who are like abandoned. She's able to find the like sick girls and uses them because they have the highest pain tolerance, so they're more likely to do well with like the dreaming work. Where literally, can we talk about this? How it dreams, like the diviners have to put on a certain robe. Like literally whoever wants their fortune read or whatever cuts themselves. The diviner have to drink their blood. How are there not more blood-borne pathogen or diseases getting spread through this process? How are the diviners okay? Then they are drowned in the spring and literally all that water is coming into them, and then it sends them into like a subconscious state where they go through all the different 5 stages where Sybil describes it. Like she can predict like first it's the coin and then it's the ink and then it's the ore and then it's just this. That's crazy. And at first, like the first time when Sybil was the one who dreamt for the new king, the boy king.
Benji.
It like seemed like, oh, like, okay, I'm like, okay, this isn't too bad of a process. But then I'm like, wait, people are going there multiple times a day and they're doing it over and over and over again. And this is literally what you're doing for 10 years, besides just like chores around the castle or the cathedral and maintaining it. Yeah, this sounds terrible, even though they've all been manipulated by the abbess that she's their mother and she's so giving to them and she gives them a home for free and food for free. But then they just have to abuse their body for her. And also they're contracted for 10 years basically, and then they can be on their way, but actually none of them are on their way because she offs them after. Insane. The romance, you guys, we're going to talk about this way more with the quotes. The romance was perfect. The amount of yearning, I love the slow progression, the little like seeds being planted. I love them. I love them so much. Sybil and Rory, oh my god. Book 2, I want to see Rory setting things aflame. I want to see our agnostic king take down the system. Obviously not, he's not actually a king. But you know what I mean. Our agnostic knight. Please. I kind of spoke on this already. I put the succession of taking out omens. I felt like it was a little easy. And I will note, since I believe this is duology, and with how the plot was set up, it makes sense that the whole first book is focused on the omens and taking them out. So like, they don't have that much time. But like Sybil had like 3 days of combat training. I guess the one guy, the ink guy who's holding his knowledge, his wasn't too bad. The chime girly, like who got eaten by a tree sprite, that seemed like way too easily. I'm like, I think they just starved the sprites somehow. Like the knight somehow starved the sprites. I don't know how they did it, but they somehow got them to just eat her. How many is that? Okay, there's the gold coin who guy who's already dead because Rory killed him. The ink guy, Sybil ended up killing, or Sybil participating in killing him. The ore guy, that's me questioning Sybil's 3 days of combat training. Chime girly, oh, and then the weaver's the last one where she wanted to die because she stopped drinking the Aisling water and then her body started contorting into this like gargoyle variation thing. So yeah, it wasn't all that bad. Last couple things, Sybil becoming knight, I thought was very cute. I thought it was like a destiny she chose. I'm glad Rory was very particular about the vows because he's like, yo, Benji, she just like committed her 10 years of her life to this other person. Let's not, like, don't pressure her into committing her life to something else completely. She just did that. Give her a choice. And of course, Benji threw a fit. I'm literally, I want to fight Benji. Put me in, actually. I'm sick of him. Sybil's eyes are stone. Oh, my little sweet girlie. Or they're just like pure white. But it's a side effect of drinking the Aisling water over and over and over again for 10 years. Yeah, that's going to F you up. Oh, but I'm glad Rory is the bare minimum and still thinks she's beautiful. Plot twists I noted were Benji turning that little rat. I literally can't. Karma's coming for him. I just know that. The abbess being the ones to create the gods. I kind of like how it's like one person behind all of this like mess who's manipulating the entire story and this whole like faith system. That's very interesting to look onto and reflect on. I thought that was such an interesting plot point, and I was like, okay, moth lady. Obviously not cheering on for her, but like kind of fun, kind of fresh. And then the last one is the plot twist of the diviners being fed to the omens or turned into gargoyles is just absolutely crazy work. Like, I mean, I guess this makes sense because you never hear what happens to them after. My predictions for the next one, I do think Rory is going to set aflame everything. I think the gargoyle, he lost half his wing because evil Benji blew it up. Bartholomew better not die. I will literally wreak havoc. I think, I don't want to say Maud might die, but let her live, please. Rachel, I'm begging you, please don't kill Rory, Bartholomew, Sybil, or Maud. I will be very sad. I will be so sad. Obviously, Benji's gonna get taken over. I think Sybil's gonna expose the flaws in their faith system because the whole thing was Benji's like, I want you as my queen so I can basically like use you to pretend to do dreaming because no one actually taught him how it worked, or like no one knows the logistics of the dream process with the drowning and everything. I think she's gonna expose it. I think we're gonna find someone on the inside that hopefully is like a new person on her side who will help her get out. I hope there's a new king, and I hope it's maybe Rory or Maud. I think that'd be fun. Maud for queen, honestly. I trust her with my life. This is my vote in for her. You guys, let's talk about the quotes. These quotes are actually insane. It's literally just screenshots of Rory thirsting over Sybil as he should. Let's go into the first one. King Castor's finger slightly wobbly, pointed once more. The pretty one. Rory's eyes flitted to me. But the king's finger, the knighthood's collective gaze, was trained on one of the other diviners. Which one, I was annoyed. I'm like, how dare you? Sybil is pretty too. But also the fact that Rory's first reaction is to look at Sybil. The signs were there. Also, I can't stop looking at all my peeling. God, it's so bad. It's so bad. Okay, there we go. It's just not even there. Okay, moving on. I have disdain in me, yes. Rory's brows drew together, lips parted slightly enough for me to hear the shaky sound of his exhale, but none for you. And this is supposedly when they hate each other. Oh, this next one I'm just gonna include because the reveal that the sixth omen, the moth, is the abbess was absolutely insane. I was like, clutching my pearls. Oh my gosh. My gosh. Oh my gosh. Okay, this was the sexual tension scene I was talking about when he's fitting Sybil for her knight armor, and what he has to do is like put wax on her to get her exact measurements. The amount of tension, oh my gosh. But he leaves like the rest of it for Maud to do, and Rory goes, "You want to throw me down," Rory said, eyelids dropping as he whispered into my parted lips. "And I, prideful, disdainful, godless, want to drag you into the dirt with me." He pulled back, his eyes as black as the harried scribe's inkwell. "I'll ask Maud to do the left." He rounded the stool, walked away, the door to the forge closed. I stood alone in a shell of wax, staring at the wall, willing my breathing to slow. Not all this tension. Okay. Oh my gosh. This man is so flirtatious. Sybyl's talking to Rory. She's like, "What about you? Are you still in pain?" He shivered. "Near you, always." "Your ribs, you idiot, from getting caught stealing Aislings." Aislings? Aislings? I've been saying Aislings. Aislings? Maybe it's Aislings. Aislings? Aislings? This is what happens when I don't say things that route. I don't know how to say anything. I'm gonna say Aislings. Spring water? That, it still aches a little. He's so thirsty. Oh my gosh. Okay, this gave me the same energy as when Kaz was talking in Edition 6 of Crossed Crooked Kingdom, and he was talking about how literally nothing could stop him from getting to her. And this is basically Rory's declaration of love. And at this point, I'm like, just say you're in love with her. He goes, "I'd have come for you. Would I have killed or stolen or done any ignoble thing to see you freeze up that place? You are more special than you realize. I don't even know your name." He droned about it. "And I would do anything for you." He's basically in love. That's what all these quotes are, is just his love, as he should be. And then, oh my gosh, Bartholomew literally calling them out. He's like, "For the sake of my humanity, put Bartholomew out of her misery," because he calls everyone Bartholomew. "Tell her you're in love with her." Rory's eyes jerked open, brows locked in a scowl. Behind him, Benji and Maud, who were doing a poor job masking the fact that they were eavesdropping, let out a collective exhale that came out as a wheeze. Oh my, okay, this next one is not just Rory pining for Sybil, but Bartholomew has such, he's just so insightful. He's talking about how Sybil's like decision whether or not she wants to be knighted or not, and he's like, "You did not ask to become a diviner, yet you swore all your worth to Aisling. It would be a sad story were you to do that again." His stone eyes rose to my face. "But if you wanted to, I would not blame you. It is easier swearing ourselves to someone else's cause than to sit with who we are without one." Okay, existential crisis. Hello. That was crazy. I thought that was crazy deep for like where, okay, sprinkle that in there. The next one, oh my god, it's just the reveal that our bat gargoyle was the first diviner, Bartholomew. That's my boy. That's my son. I love him. If anything happens to him, I literally will be unwell. Like, someone wellness check me when the sequel comes out, and if he's not alive, consider me unwell. Oh, and I just took a screenshot of the last one where it had like their names and their items, because I'm like, I can't remember this for the life of me, so we'll do a little review. The coin for the brigand merchant, that's who was Rory's master. Inkwell for the harried scribe, or for the ardent oarsman, chime for the faithful forester, and loomstone for the heart sore weaver. And with that, the 2025 release, The Knight and the Moth, and that was crazy, you guys. I need to talk to everyone about this book because I feel like there's just so much to unpack and I haven't even touched on it. Something I always do is I never read reviews before I record my own because I don't want to be influenced by other people. But now you know what I'm going to go do right after this. I'm going to go read reviews and see what other people have seen, because I'm like, there's just so much to unpack. And I want to hear everyone's thoughts. I want to hear your thoughts on what you thought. What you liked, disliked, what are your theories? Oh my gosh, the literary devices went crazy. Oh my gosh, I literally, like, this book was crazy for romantasy. I feel like this raised the bar exponentially. It was insane. Rachel Gillig's insane. I need the next book immediately. And that's that. So overall, 5 stars. Snaps. That was insane. I will fight Benji myself. And I hope Sybil just continues to girl boss and take down people and take names, as she should. You guys, I'm literally just gonna have to sit here and process all of this. But I am excited because Allie Hazelwood's problematic summer romance is coming out tomorrow. So I can read something fluffy and fun. Although this is technically the Not in Love sequel, and Not in Love was a bit of like a deeper, heavier book, so maybe it'll also be heavier, and I don't know if I can handle that right now, but that's okay. Thanks for watching, you guys. I appreciate you. Love you so much. Be sure to like this video, it helps me a lot. Subscribe so you don't miss any more book reviews from yours truly. I have so many opinions and I want to talk to you about them. It's a great time here. Also, other bookish videos. I'm running a marathon in October. You can follow along for that journey. If you want to donate to my cause, link in bio. Otherwise, follow me on the socials literally everywhere else. I'm actually so annoying. If you're sick of how annoying I am here, imagine me annoying everywhere and how much fun that is. Instagram, TikTok, Goodreads, Storygraph, Fable, literally everywhere. We'll link it all below. Appreciate you guys. Love you very much. I'll see you next week.